In times like these, it's best we don't take them for granted. Success only comes so often for multiple teams in one place. We're going to dive into some of the best New York right now. So let's hit it and get it started.
I could trip a referee, tell by my attitude that I most definitely from.
Jets draft classes are reporting to rookie minicamp pretty early. Names such as Jordan Travis, Malachi Corley, Olu Fashanu, and Braylon Allen report to camp. It's interesting. Jordan Travis wants to be Aaron Rodgers' successor one day, but he's not particularly worried about that right now. What he wants to do, he wants to be the best teammate that he can be, and that's good if you're a rookie. I get you're a fifth-round pick and you have aspirations to be the quarterback one day. That's fine, but right now, you just need to be worried about being a good teammate because it's not your time. Not right now. Other than that, there's really nothing else to talk about for the Jets. Like, no media bias in the recent weeks, so it's easy to just kind of coast into what they're up to. But I will say this, just as a little side note. The NFL schedule comes out on next Wednesday as of today. The week 1 opener prediction for me, I got a feeling we're going to go against the Miami Dolphins at MetLife. So I think Tua and Rodgers, it's a good primetime 4 o'clock matchup if you don't want to do primetime, but that's just me. So let's see what Roger Goodell has us cooked up for us. Regarding New York, the Giants. Okay, so this is going to be a little different. There's really nothing really going on with the Giants. They haven't started rookie minicamp yet, aside from a few undrafted free agent waivers. So there's really nothing to really get into. But because I did make this prediction for the Jets, I'll get into the Giants. My prediction for the Giants opening matchup, I wonder what would be a great matchup. Oh, it's easy. The Washington Commanders. I think two opening matchups for both teams in New York. And I think the Washington Commanders, it's an interesting matchup. You'd think the Giants were going to get a quarterback, and all of a sudden they didn't. If it's not them, maybe the Minnesota Vikings, but that's just me. If you want to run it back with Jones, which I think they're probably going to do, and to go against the guys that you maybe could have gotten in the draft, sound good, Roger? Maybe you can make a little more money off of that since both teams are not very good. But that's besides the point. Moving on from football, it's been a minute since we've talked about these boys, but we got to talk about the New York Rangers. Up 2-0 on the Carolina Hurricanes halfway through the second round. And my goodness, this team, it's scary how parallel this is with the Knicks back in the late 90s with the way they were seeded and the way they're playing. It's kind of messing with your brain a little bit, isn't it? Now, Zibanejad, Trocheck, Panarin doing all the heavy lifting, but we can't talk about heavy lifting without this man, Igor Shesterkin. 54 saves in Game 2 against the Hurricanes. Incredible stuff. It's unreal. And yes, I get it. He allowed 3 goals and all, but that's not really that bad, especially in hockey. But plus, you had 54 saves. That's not something to sleep on. Coach Peter Laviolette has done a fantastic job with this team. 6-0, by the way, to start the playoffs. Don't forget that, guys. 6-0. We got to really start thinking, that's really scary for other teams, especially since they were 7th in Stanley Cup odds to go in and win the whole thing. It's disrespectful. It's funny that we bring up the Rangers and how dominant they've been. One of my friends in my history class, she's a big Rangers fan, and it's almost like she kind of saw this coming. She knows how good the Hurricanes are, but it's the way that this Rangers team plays that gives her a lot of confidence and the ability to win. And I'm confident in them, too, as a Ranger fan myself. Now, we're going to stay in the Garden. New York Knicks, baby. Bravo. Bravo. A great series against the Philadelphia 76ers. After winning in 6, they will meet the Indiana Pacers in the Eastern Conference semifinals after beating Philly. Now, my prediction for series MVP is going to be Jalen Brunson. As I mentioned on the YouTube short not too long ago, he is the 4th player in NBA history to have 4 consecutive 40-point games in the postseason. Now, I've touched on that quite enough in the short, so if you want to check that out, that's going to be on your time. The Knicks took the first game at the time of this recording. Game 2 is tonight, May 8th, 2024. By the time this is uploaded, the game will likely be over by then. Now, the Pacers match up decently well against the Knicks. And I noticed that a lot of people are sleeping on the Pacers, but I don't really like that because that's kind of how you lose in these type of games. But hey, if you look at Indiana, they're well coached and they're just a well-meshed unit. You notice with Indiana, they're obviously the offense is nothing to sleep on because they're number one in the entire NBA. They're very fast, which the Knicks are not fast at all. They're the slowest team in the league. That's a stat, by the way. Now, the Knicks, they like to play slow, control the pace. Here's where I draw the line with the Knicks. I don't like the fact how they're always trailing by like 4 for 35 minutes of the game. And then when there's 40 seconds left, when I'm already through 3 heart attacks, all of a sudden we want to fire 3 out of nowhere. And then, woohoo, we end up winning. Which, listen, I'm not going to complain about a win, but like, can you at least make it easier on my heart a little bit? Especially you, Josh Hart, with all the rebounds. He's been absolutely fantastic in the whole series and even in the first one. Josh Hart should not be averaging over 10 rebounds a game for a guy his size at the forward position. It's really just so special to see what this Knicks team is doing. And you think, how far can this team go? Can they win the championship? Absolutely. Boston would be a tough task, but right now we focus on the Pacers. I'm going to keep it safe. I'm going to go Knicks in 6. With that being said, episode 10 is now in the books. We will end it there. Hopefully by the time this episode is uploaded, the Knicks haven't put me into another heart attack situation, and we walk out victorious. Have a fantastic rest of your day. We'll talk ball soon.